What if I told you that right now, this very moment, you already have everything you need to change your life? Not talking about money, luck, or connections. I'm talking about something far more powerful. Your ability to direct your own mind. Because science shows us that success is rarely about talent. It's about persistence, it's discipline, and the willingness to keep moving when everything in you wants to quit. Let us start with the truth that most people, Dante, want to hear. Your brain is designed to protect you from discomfort, not to push you toward greatness. Evolution wired us to conserve energy, to avoid pain, to seek safety. That's why the moment you decide to pursue a big goal, you feel resistance. It's not weakness, it's biology. Neuroscientists call it the energy preservation bias. Your brain is trying to keep you in the comfort zone. But here's the catch. Growth never happens there. Think of any person you admire. Athletes, entrepreneurs, scientists, artists. What separates them from the rest isn't luck. It's their ability to push through resistance and train their brains to love the process of growth. Studies on neuroplasticity reveal that your brain changes in response to the challenges you give it. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, every time you practice discipline, every time you keep going despite fear, you're literally rewiring your brain for resilience. But motivation isn't just about science, it's about story. And the story you tell yourself shapes the actions you take. If your inner dialogue is filled with doubt, I can't do this, I'm not ready, I'm not good enough, your brain starts to believe it. That's confirmation bias. You'll look for reasons to prove yourself right. But if you flip the script and say, I can improve, I can adapt, I can overcome, your brain also starts to believe that. And the actions you take will align with that belief. Here's the secret. Action comes before motivation. We often wait to feel ready. But science shows that dopamine, the brain's motivation chemical, spikes when we make progress, not when we wait for inspiration. That means if you take the smallest step forward, sending the email, doing one push-up, writing one page, you create a loop. Action creates motivation. Motivation creates more action. And over time, that loop builds momentum strong enough to carry you to your goals. Now let's address failure, because you will fail. Everyone does. The difference is what you do with it. Psychologists talk about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. Fixed mindset says failure means I'm not good enough. A growth mindset says failure means I'm learning. Which one do you think leads to mastery? When Thomas Edison was asked about failing thousands of times to invent the light bulb, he said, I didn't fail. I found 10,000 ways that didn't work. That mindset is what separates dreamers from achievers. So how do you cultivate this in your own life? Let's get practical. Set clear, measurable goals. Don't just say, I want to get fit. Say, I will run 5 kilometers without stopping within 60 days. Specificity activates your brain's reticular activating system, the filter that helps you notice opportunities aligned with your goals. Break goals into small steps. The human brain is overwhelmed by big tasks. But if you divide them into small, achievable wins, you trigger dopamine with each step. That's why checklists feel so satisfying. They hack your brain's reward system. Use the power of visualization. Athletes use mental rehearsal because your brain fires similar neurons when you imagine an action as when you perform it. If you vividly picture yourself succeeding, your brain starts treating that outcome as familiar and achievable. Control your environment. A willpower is limited, but environment lasts 24/7. If you want to eat healthy, don't keep junk food in the house. If you want to study, put your phone in another room. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Embrace discomfort. Growth feels hard because your brain is rewiring itself. That discomfort is proof you're becoming stronger. Seek it out instead of avoiding it. Now, let's zoom out. Why does all this matter? Because one day, you'll look back on your life, and the only question that will matter is this: did you give everything you had to the person you could have been? Or did you let fear, comfort, and excuses steal your potential? Here's the reality. Time is passing whether you use it or not. 1 year from now, you could be a completely different person. Stronger, smarter, more disciplined, or you could be exactly the same. Still wishing, still waiting, still telling yourself someday. But someday isn't on the calendar. Today is. Science has proven that habits compound. James Clear calls it the 1% rule. If you improve just 1% every day, you won't be 365% better in a year. You'll be nearly 38 times better. That's the power of compound growth. Small daily wins don't just add up, they multiply. So the question is not, can you do it? The question is, will you choose to start today? Will you take the first step, no matter how small? Because greatness doesn't come from waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from showing up again and again, even when you don't feel like it. And here's something most people don't realize. The hardest part of any journey is not the middle, not the end, it's the beginning. Once you take that first step, momentum begins to build. You'll stumble, you'll face setbacks. But each time you rise, you'll rise stronger. Each time you push through resistance, you'll create a new version of yourself. Imagine this. 1 year from now, you wake up in the body, the mindset, the life you dreamed of. You look back and realize that it wasn't magic. It wasn't luck. It was the small, consistent choices you made every single day. It was the decision to keep going when others quit. It was the courage to start before you felt ready. That future is possible, and it starts with your right now. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop telling yourself the story of who you can't be. Start writing the story of who you will become, because your life is happening and the pen is in your hands. Choose discipline over comfort. Choose growth over fear. Choose to take one small step today, because one small step done consistently has the power to change your entire life. Your future self is waiting. Don't let them down.